Get out of here. I didn't want you. All right, so here we go. The Vampire Count army I don't want to spend too much time on because it's the exact same as the army we saw last time. 2 Blood Knights, Crypt Horrors, Heinrich Kemmler with his summons, Krell, all the usual goods. 3 Zombies, 5 Graveguard with a White King and another White King, both with Scavscrath, and then the Chillgeist. Over here, for the Tomb Kings, we're going to see a different approach than we saw last time. A lot of similarities, but overall different. He's going to have Ushabti Greatbow, so given that ranged infantry. The Kepler Guard, ROR Tomb Guard. He's going to have Skeleton Warriors, looks like 3 of them. 2 Skeleton Spearmen, 1 being King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion. Tomb Guards with Halberds holding down the back line. And then we're going to be seeing some Ushabti for that mass. A Necrotech down here on foot with Restore and Bambresses of the Sun. And then we're going to see a Sphinx of Usep, the ROR Necrosphinx. I think this is usually a good pick to bring. But the big difference here too is going to be Cetra is on top of the Chariot of the Gods. And he is going to be doing nasty work. Bonus versus large, armor piercing, magical damage, fire damage, everything the vampire counts hate. And the Blood Knights are going to be forced to react and chase him away so he doesn't kill off the whole army before the battle begins. Wrath of Tra, Usep's Incantation of Desiccation, Naru's Incantation of Protection, the Crown of Nehekara will be his loadout. So, already I do like this army more than the last Tomb King army. Oh, but that Scabscrath! Ugh. Disgusting. Didn't kill any models, but holy hell. Devastating damage. Alright. Blessed Blade of Tra getting popped there to help Cetra escape. And there he goes. And right now he's doing a good job of kind of forcing the vampire counts to blob up right into his frontline engagement. And that's going to play into the Tomb King's hands, because the less the vampire counts are surrounding these guys and pressuring them, the better it will be for the Tomb King army. As we saw in the last match, it just blew up in their face when they didn't. Over here, the Kepler Guard, another Scabscrath doing a ton of damage. They do have replenishment, so we'll see if they can hang in, but it looks like they may be down for the count very early in this battle. Right now, Cetra the Imperishable winning decisively. Of course, his Chariot is crazy good. And the Chillgeist coming in for a quick charge, but then going to be pulling out. Sphinx of Usep is over here. Going to be trying to save these Skeleton Warriors, or I guess not save them, but dish out damage while they're still alive. And right now, the balance power is off to a very even start, and both of these players doing okay so far. The Kepler Guard, definitely a huge pickup for the vampire counts, but we'll see how the battle progresses, because right now I do think this Tomb King army is already in a much, much better place than we saw the last Tomb King army at this stage of the battle. They have good control in terms of, you know, the entire engagement is happening along their front line. Their back line is protected. They still have spare units in reserve to help out even more. The Kepler Guard are still hanging on. Naru's Incantation of Protection going down on top of them. Cetra the Imperishable in the thick of combat, and now he's in combat with the Chillgeist, and that's going to be perfect for him. That magical damage is going to absolutely melt the Chillgeist. Crypt Horrors over here also going to be a good target for him in the late game. But Restore going down on top of the Necrosphinx. However, the Necrotech is now getting attacked by one of... Oh no, just kidding. He's getting attacked by Krell. And he needs to get the hell out of there, because Krell is going to dominate him. Krell don't take prisoners, people. Seeing some of the Tomb King infantry begin to shatter. Cetra the Imperishable is getting attacked by the Blood Knights. His Necrosphinx is nearby to try and help him out, though. Going to see another Scabscrath going down, and I have to say the Scabscraths from Tank have just been devastatingly on point. Chill guys coming around this way. Alright, some Skeleton Spearmen reserves finally coming forward. Ushabti's Greatbow still very healthy and alive. And the Kepler Guard, in spite of all that damage they took initially, still hanging in there. But another nasty Scabscrath going into the Skeleton Spearmen this time and taking out a ton of their health before they could even get in combat. But look at this, Blood Knights, guys. They are looking weak. Usep's Incantation of Desiccation has been popped, and looks like that debuff bought a lot of time for the Tomb Kings to dish out some crazy good damage, and both Blood Knights are just looking really bad right now. We'll see if they can heal through this, but the Necrosphinx is coming at them, not wanting to give them a chance to breathe, and it's also getting another restore. So now the Necrosphinx is still very, very healthy, unlike the last stage of the battle. Our player here, Energized, is doing a wonderful job of keeping his Necrosphinx in supporting range of the rest of his army. And I think that's going to lead to a victory here for the Tomb Kings, but too early to call just yet. Meanwhile, in the back lines, we're going to have the Chillgeist along with some zombie summons getting on top of the Cetra and some Skeleton Warriors, but now Cetra is attacking the Chillgeist, and like I said earlier, that magic damage is going to do wonders. Ushapti summon just went down, and that's going to be the first time I see the balance of power actually go pretty significantly in favor of the of the Tomb Kings. Blood Knights trying to get back on top of the Necrosphinx. Necrosphinx continuing to lay down a ton of damage and still quite high on health. The Necrotect, where are you? Did he get killed off by Krell? I think he might have. So no more restore is going to be going down for the Sphinx of Usep, which is always a shame, and I'm sure he's bummed about that. But with this Ushapi summon still in play and the Sphinx of Usep so healthy, I think the Necrotect has done its job. And as long as they can kill the Blood Knights, I think the Tomb Kings got this. Once the Blood Knights are gone, it'll probably be a GG from there, because Cryptors, nothing else in this vampire army will be able to deal with it. Both White Kings still fighting away. I don't see Krell anymore. I think he must have timed out. And the balance of power is inching further and further in favor of the Tomb Kings now, guys. Are we going to see a victory here for Energized? Another Scabscrath. Scabscrath. Tank has been using it so well. His placement of that breath is on point. A lot of players put it way too up close and then they miss the widest cast of the tier shape that it kind of comes out in, and that's where it does the most damage. But there we go, guys. Cetra the Imperishable has not perished yet. He is assisting with the perishing of the Chillgeist. And pretty soon here, it's just going to be White Kings and Heinrich Kemmler. This unit of Ushapti still hanging by a thread, but the balance of power just getting further and further out of hand for the vampire counts. Oh, I think army losses may be kicking in here any moment now. The Blood Knights are gone. And yeah, I mean, it just looks like Cetra's going after Heinrich Kemmler now. Cetra turning around, bulldozing this poor White King, and everybody give some love in the chat for the Kepra Guard, guys. They started out taking so much damage from those Scabscrats, and look, they're still hanging in there. How many kills do you guys got? 86 kills, too. Way to go, Kepra Guard. That's a badass unit of infantry right there. Over here, we see Heinrich Kemmler trying to fight Cetra the Imperishable, but some huge hits going down from the Sphinx of Usep. And there it goes. The Shatter is real. That's going to be a GG, and this time around, we're going to see the Tomb Kings come out on top. So, wonderful games to both of these players. Give some love in the chat to Tank and Energized for providing us those very entertaining matches. And get ready for some fresh recruit replays as well. Sphinx can solo half the army, though. Blood Knights. Yeah. He would have had to have trapped the Sphinx and killed him with Krell. You're absolutely right, Biggie Schmalls. And I think, though, rather than that being a mistake from Tank, I think that was just a testament to Energized playing that really well. Unlike the last Vampire Count Tomb King battle that Tank had against Yumeis, where I feel like the Sphinx pretty early in the battle got way out of position and surrounded by Blood Knights. In this one, I didn't see Energized really giving Tank that opportunity to isolate and kill the Necrosphinx. So really well played to him, and I think, yeah, that's a good case example, you know, in this one stream seeing this matchup twice and how differently it went with armies that were, you know, pretty close to similar on the Tomb King side, just some minor changes. So really well done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah, he needed. Yeah, the Blood Knights needed to pressure the flanks, but this Tomb King army put them in a tough place because if the Blood Knights would have just focused on the flanks, then Setzer the Imperishable would have been completely unchallenged in the infantry engagement. And as you saw, Setzer was just dominating them, and that's why the Blood Knights came into the center of the formation. And I think that once again is a very good play to Energized. He brought that variable that meant if the Blood Knights just wanted to try to pressure the flanks, that means they're conceding the fact that you're going to have the best chariot in the game just dominating his Graveguard for the entire battle. And I think that kind of put him in a rock and a hard place. Not to mention the Ushabti bows, they also apply that ranged pressure. So this army, unlike the last one, really put a lot of pressure on the Vampire Count player to react to what he was doing. Whereas in the first game, I just felt like the Vampire Counts kind of had the luxury of just being like, all right, well, let's walk up there, take our time, get in position, and crush them. But this army, they didn't have that luxury.